All right, here we are, day 4. We have played 3 games, won 1 game, lost 1 game, and draw on 1 game, but we haven't hung any queens as of yet. So that's good news. I've been working on trying to improve my some of my end games and some other tactical things behind the scenes. So hopefully that's gonna make an impact on today's game. Let's jump straight into it and see if we can get the W today. Day 4. I'm excited. I'm ready. This is gonna be sensational, as Chess Frank is here's would say. Okay, we're going to go for Caro-Kann, and we're gonna play the boring Tartakawa variation. Just exchange. I think I played this in the very first game, or maybe I can't remember. Maybe I didn't. I just remember something about trying to do something special with this doubled F pawn, and then getting into some problems. Maybe it wasn't that game. Okay, so I have a few options. I could play bishop to g4 and say, okay, there's a pin. How are you going to deal with that? I think I'm going to do that. Don't really need to calculate too much for that. I realized in the last game that I played that speaking and doing commentary while I'm actually playing the game can be a little tricky. I tend to focus a lot better when I'm not verbalizing my thought process. So I'm going to do a little bit of both, where I'll verbalize some of the stuff, but then some of it I'll just try and kind of do internal stuff with. But for now, okay, not unhappy to see bishop to e3. Does allow me to push this pawn, so I'm going to go ahead, take some space. All right. And now this knight is undeveloped. Maybe I need to reroute it this way, so let's try that. Probably does have some tactics of moving this knight. Okay, I don't mind that. I probably will just take with this pawn. Yeah. So far, so good. Okay, I'm just gonna take here. Maybe is this a move? Highlighting an attack on the a7 pawn, but I mean I can't take. Oh, I could actually. I could take. I could take with the knights and then drop the bishop into h2, and then if he took my knights, he would lose his queen. So this isn't a move. I don't think he'd want to play that anyway, to be honest. So maybe playing c4, takes, bishop takes. Maybe you can I'm gonna take. Don't even think about it. Don't even think about it. This is a poisoned knight. You cannot take this knight. He can get compensation by picking up the a7 pawn though. Should be fine. Maybe calculate it a little bit further than I gave him credit for. Because that pawn, you can push that pawn. And you can recapture the a7 pawn as your compensation, which he's done. Fair enough. But now, are there some tactics around rook takes? I don't see anything really super special here yet. Okay. And now I guess this pawn is hanging too, so maybe he spent a little bit more time looking at this than I gave him credit for. Yeah, this is a little irritating. Okay. What's my plan here? I'm struggling a little bit. I can just retreat. I suppose retreating is fine. Just defend my pawn. Okay, let's do that. And I'm just saying, okay, I've got your central pawn, which is maybe worth more than my a pawn. Well, this is getting, again, a little dicey. I can play queen to e7 though. Okay, let's not think too much. Queen to e7. And now what? Exchanging rooks. I'm up on the clock, so that's useful. Another option is bishop takes the knight on f3 and then just kind of get a little bit of a crude attack going, threatening mate. Now I can't do that because after takes there are problems. Maybe this is nice and safe. I just kind of tuck all my pieces away and then I can develop the knight later on, maybe over here once I've moved my queen. Queen to b7 makes a lot of sense. Let's just not hang anything. Okay, I can't play queen to b7 now. And actually I realized I would have hung my d3 bishop. Oh! Oh, that's very cool. Okay, I'm so lucky I had this move. This is the only thing that gets me out of dodge here. Queen takes, and then queen takes the rook. I didn't see that fork. That's really clever by my opponent, but I kind of wangle my way out here with this rook to b8 move, which I'm sure he didn't see. I didn't see either, to be fair. Now I need to be very precise indeed. I think this makes sense. Looking like we're going to go into an end game, but up a little bit of time on the clock. With a pawn majority on the king's side. I would love to push this pawn, but that just loses the pawn immediately, so let's not do that. I wonder if I can actually play this. This might be a little bit ambitious, but I need to try and take some space and try and get his queen off the g-file, which scares me somewhat. Okay. All right. Need to be careful here. Things can really come apart at the seams. All right, queen to c7, maybe. Okay, let's not do anything too crazy. I can just move my king up, create a little bit more safety. But I think he wants this. And then there's going to be a... Maybe it's okay. So I can just play here. All right, he will pick up the pawn. But then I can pick up the b2 pawn. All right, let's play it this way. Oh wow, he doesn't go for that. Now what do I do? I think I just take. All right. Whoa. Okay. He takes, but that's not a move. Oh, it is a move. Oh gosh. It is a move. I thought he was going to take the e6 pawn. Ugh. All right. Now I have to be ultra precise. It's the only way. All right. Now I'm winning. Fortunately. Now I should be winning, even though I'm just up the exchange. Let's take the hanging pawn. Take control of more squares and then maybe just push the b pawn. Just need to make sure I don't blunder anything and I should be okay. Famous last words. Oh gosh. Chess can be a cool game. I just have to be patient and precise. Thing when it comes to playing chess. Oh, I almost hung my rook. Can't do that. Let's go here. All right, now we should be winning. Okay. All right, there we go. We win. Fantastico. I'm very happy with that. Quite a tough game, a well-played game by my opponent. Sacrificing the exchange was a good try, but then he blundered. And apparently I blundered too. Okay, so let's take a look. Let's see what's going on here. All right, we had a pretty decent opening. Oh, okay, so my knight takes is a brilliancy. The idea is if the queen takes, which I mentioned, I have bishop to a2 and then h2, and then I will pick up the queen. Like so. So my opponent spent a lot of time thinking here, and I didn't really give him credit for the fact that he maybe didn't calculate for this. He probably did and just thought, it's okay, I can just pick up the a pawn. And knight to f4 is the best here. I was thinking about knight to f4, but I felt a little bit... maybe I wasn't thinking about knight to f4. I don't know why I didn't play knight to f4. Knight to f4 makes sense. Okay, and then here, completely missed this move. Queen to d5, forking my bishop and the rook on a8. It's a really good move. But I was just lucky that I think this is something that's quite interesting. This is that if you do blunder something like this, if your pieces are like reasonably developed and working together harmoniously, it's not the end of the world if you miss moves, because there'll very often be a way out. Not always. Sometimes you can make a one-move blunder and that's the end of the game. But in a situation like this, you can see my pieces are pretty well coordinated, and he has a weakness being the bishop over here. So where a move like this could be quite killer, I have options which I didn't even calculate or see before. So in a way, a little bit lucky, but also it worked in my favor having developed reasonably early on. And then all of this, okay, yeah, this was a really clever try by my opponent here. And I blundered massively. Okay, so here he could have just taken on f6 and been able to pick up another pawn, but he kind of went the wrong way. So I had that moment to be able to defend the f6 square, and then he moved back. And then fortunately, this was kind of my escape route, forcing the queens off with a check, and then the rest is pretty straightforward. Okay, he blundered a fork here as well, and that was the end of the game. So, wow, another good game. Very happy with the way I played there. 80-something% according to the engine, 2100 rating performance. So I'm happy with that. But yeah, still I think a lot of work to do if I want to get to that ultimate goal of beating a Grandmaster. And very importantly, I need to try and get my rating up, as I mentioned in the very first episode, closer to 2200. So we're heading in the right direction. That's a wrap for today. If you are enjoying this content, do consider hitting the subscribe button. I have 0 bagel subscribers as of right now. So I'd appreciate if you enjoy this, do hit that subscribe button. All right, everyone, I'll see you tomorrow.